You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling for the third time this week. It's 11:30 at night. You have to wake up at 6, but your mind won't stop. You keep thinking about that email you forgot to reply to, tomorrow's meeting, the credit card bill that's due, the argument you had with someone 3 days ago. You try to close your eyes, but it's like there's a television turned on inside your head broadcasting all your problems in high definition. You turn to the right, then to the left, adjust the pillow 5 times, take the blanket off, put it back on, and then you grab your phone thinking that scrolling Instagram for a few minutes will help. But when you look at the clock again, it's already 12:30, and you're even more anxious because now you have less than 6 hours to sleep. Your heart races just thinking about how tired you'll be tomorrow, and this anxiety keeps you even more awake. It's an endless cycle, a silent torture that millions of people experience every night. But what if I told you there's a protocol used by NASA astronauts that shuts down your brain in 90 seconds, even when you're in zero gravity orbiting Earth at 28,000 kilometers per hour? A method so precise that it was developed by neuroscientists specialized in space sleep, because an astronaut who doesn't sleep can make mistakes that cost billions of dollars in missions and human lives. Welcome to the BAME Fasten channel. Here we simplify the complicated. And if you want to finally have control over your mind at bedtime, hit that like button right now, because this video will give you the power to turn off your brain like a light switch. Now, before I teach you the protocol, you need to understand why your brain doesn't shut down. The problem isn't that you're too awake. The problem is that your nervous system is in survival mode. Your brain was programmed during millions of years of evolution to stay alert when there are unresolved problems. That's why you keep ruminating on the same thoughts, analyzing the same problems, creating scenarios that will never happen. Your brain is trying to protect you, but it's actually keeping you trapped in a state of hypervigilance. It's like having a fire alarm going off inside your head that you can't turn off. And the more you try to force sleep, the more you activate this alarm. This was exactly the problem NASA faced when they started long-duration missions. Astronauts spent weeks on the International Space Station facing the stress of living in a hostile environment where one mistake can mean death, dealing with the pressure of multi-million-dollar scientific experiments, working shifts that don't follow the natural day-night rhythm because the sun rises and sets 16 times in 24 hours in space. And NASA realized this was an unacceptable risk. So they brought together the best neuroscientists specialized in sleep, cognitive psychologists, meditation experts, and created a neural shutdown protocol. And here's the genius part. They didn't create a common relaxation technique. They created a neural pattern interruption system that hacks the brain and forces it to enter rest mode. And this protocol has 3 phases that need to be executed in exact sequence. First phase, sensory interruption. Second phase, neural reset breathing. Third phase, progressive shutdown. First phase, sensory interruption. Your brain processes millions of pieces of information per second coming from your senses. Vision, hearing, touch, all of this keeps your prefrontal cortex active. So the first step is to cut off all sensory inputs. You lie in bed. Turn off all the lights completely. Not even an electronic LED can be on. If there's noise, use earplugs or white noise. Now close your eyes, and this is important. Don't squeeze your eyes shut. Let them naturally close, as if your eyelids were heavy curtains falling over your eyes. And here comes the trick astronauts use. Instead of trying not to see anything, you imagine you're looking at an infinite black screen. Not a scary darkness, but black velvet screen, soft, comfortable, that absorbs any visual thought. Whenever a mental image appears, you don't fight it. You let it be absorbed by this black screen. Stay like this for 20 seconds. Second phase, neural reset breathing. There's a technique called 478 breathing that was adapted by NASA. It works like this. You inhale through your nose counting to 4. Hold the air counting to 7. And release all the air through your mouth counting to 8, making a sound as if you were blowing out a candle. And you repeat this 4 times. What happens biologically is surprising. When you hold your breath, the carbon dioxide level in your blood increases slightly. This activates your vagus nerve, which is the main switch of the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system. When you release the air slowly, your heart rate decreases, your blood pressure drops, and your brain receives the chemical signal that there's no real danger. Third phase, progressive shutdown. Now that you've cut off sensory stimuli and reset your nervous system, you're literally going to turn off your brain region by region. Start by imagining your forehead is a light bulb turned on, and you mentally turn it off. Feel the darkness taking over your forehead. Then move down to your eyes. Turn them off too. Then your cheeks, your jaw, your neck. You go down your body, turning off each part as if you were flipping switches. And here's the secret neuroscientists discovered. When you focus your attention on turning off specific parts of your body, you don't have neural capacity left over to keep ruminating thoughts. Your brain can either control the shutdown process or keep thinking about problems. It can't do both at the same time. So by giving it a simple and mechanical task, you take away the fuel from rumination. And when you finish turning off your whole body, you add a final layer. You imagine a number floating in the darkness. It can be the number 1. And you mentally erase that number 2. It disappears into black screen. Then the number 2 appears. You erase it. Number 3. Erase it. And you keep erasing numbers until at some point you simply don't remember which number came next because you've already erased. Now I need to be completely honest with you. The first night you try this, it might not work in 90 seconds. Maybe it'll take 3 minutes, maybe 5. And that's okay. Astronauts trained this protocol for 2 weeks before their first space mission. They practiced in simulators, in stressful situations, until the process became automatic. The success rate on the first attempt was only 40%. But after 14 days of daily practice, 93% of astronauts could shut down their brains in less than 2 minutes. The secret isn't to do it perfectly today. The secret is to create the neural habit. Your brain needs to learn this new pathway. And there's one more thing NASA scientists discovered. This protocol works better if you prepare your brain 1 hour before. So 1 hour before bed, you dim the lights in the house. Turn off screens, or at least put them in night mode. Avoid stressful conversations or content that activates your nervous system too much. You're creating a neural deceleration ramp. And there's an extra trick astronauts use. If you wake up in the middle of the night and your mind starts racing again, don't try to sleep immediately. Get up, go to another room. Spend 5 minutes doing something completely boring like staring at the wall or reading something technical and dull, and then come back and restart the protocol. Why? Because if you stay in bed with a racing mind for too long, your brain will create a negative association between the bed and the alert state. Now, a quick summary of a NASA brain shutdown protocol. Step 1, total sensory interruption. Complete darkness. Eyes naturally closed. Imagine a black velvet screen absorbing all visual thoughts for 20 seconds. Step 2, for 7-8 breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, release for 8, making a blowing sound. Repeat 4 times to activate the vagus nerve and reset the nervous system. Step 3, progressive shutdown. Mentally turn off each part of your body, starting from your forehead down to your feet, as if you were flipping switches. Then erase floating numbers one by one until you forget the sequence. Now I want to hear from you. What's the thought that keeps you awake most at night? Is it work? Is it relationships? Is it money? Or is it that feeling of anxiety with no apparent reason? Comment down below, because the more I understand what's preventing you from shutting down your mind, the more I can create content that will really help you. And if this video gave you a scientific method to finally control your mind at bedtime, hit that like button, because it shows the algorithm that this content needs to reach more people who suffer from this every night. And subscribe to the channel, because I post every week practical techniques based on science for you to improve your life in a real and measurable way. And look, now that you know how to shut down your brain at night, the next challenge is not waking up like a zombie at 6 in the morning. Because there's no point in sleeping well if you wake up without energy, dragged, needing to hit snooze 5 times, and drink 3 coffees just to be able to function. In the next video, I'm going to show you the awakening protocol that NASA uses for astronauts to wake up instantly alert even after sleeping only 4 hours in space emergencies. It's the perfect combination with what you just learned and will completely change your mornings.